Hey guys! Okay, so I want to share with you a little bit of our new books that we have today. These are books that came out from like June of 2022 until about September of 2022. So a ton of new books to share with you guys, some for young readers, some for older readers. So let's take a peek. So some of our newer chapter books that are really exciting. We'll start with these ones. So this series right here, The Darkest Unicorn, is now, there's 4 books now. So there was 2 more that came out. So if you have started this series and you loved it, or you haven't yet and you should, it's really, really great chapter series, truly full chapter, no pictures, a really, really great older kid reading series. Or if you yourself like fantasy, mystery, like a good, clean, fun read, this is a really, really great chapter book series. And there's 4 of them. If you have kiddos who enjoy, again, chapter books with like some mystery, some adventure, some a little bit of fantasy, this is a really, really great series. It's brand new from this summer. There's 2 books in this series so far. It's called The Firestar, and it says a maid with a plan, a squire with a secret, a missing jewel, and a kingdom in turmoil. And so it kind of is like this fun fantasy series for kiddos. Again, full chapter book, no pictures, but really great for the older reader. If you have kiddos who enjoy, again, fantasy, monsters, adventure, this is a really great series. It says, when Leo opens his assignment envelope on his 9th birthday, 2 words stare at him: top secret. He's whisked away to a village to meet his guardian, the guardian's apprentice. He must protect his village from the monsters that lurk within. And so he is a monster guardian for the village, and it does have some pictures in this one. Let's see if I can find you a picture. So there is some pictures throughout this one, a little more for a little bit of like the younger age group if they need some pictures to kind of follow the story along. But really, really great series, and there's 4 of these in the series, and it's a really fun monster older kid reading series, or a read aloud for you younger kiddos. My 5-year-old really enjoyed reading it aloud with my husband. They actually like breezed through them. They really, really loved them, so highly recommend those. Okay, so there's going to be no rhyme or reason to these. I'm just going to pull them out and we're going to go for it. If you have a kiddo who loves our See Inside books, these are really, really wonderful. Lift the Flap books. This one is new. It has a ton of information in it with all this information with all the flaps. This one's obviously really cool for your science lover or one that maybe is like interested in like germs or ask questions about a lot of stuff like that. This is a really, really great book. Highly recommend our See Inside series for the younger reader. If you can do like 1 page at a time, really dive into some facts, get some nonfiction in their sweet brains. Or if you have the older reader who's maybe a little more reluctant, I really love the See Inside series because this doesn't really feel like forced reading to an older kid. A chapter book, of course, can seem like monotonous and seem long and seem dreadful if they don't love reading. But something like this, that has pictures and flaps, it's still reading, and it's reading a lot, and they're learning a ton. I highly recommend something like this for them to at least get them to read something, and then you can kind of bridge the gap and start working towards chapter books. These are really great. If you have a kiddo that is learning to read, I love our phonics books. These ones are wonderful. We have several new ones. This one's Cockatoos on a Cruise. They have the QR code, so you can actually listen as well. And they make a little ding sound when your kid's supposed to flip the page. So you can like put this in the back seat when you're driving. They can listen as like an audiobook with a visual. Or if you're like doing the dishes and you need them to sit down and you want to read, but you can't read to them because you're busy. These are really, really great. So love our phonics books. This one's really silly read aloud. Wonderful phonics, good rhyming, and again, you can listen as like an audiobook. If you have little ones or you have someone who you know is going to have a little one, I love our new very first Words Library series, and there's a bunch more that just came out, so there's a whole bunch of them now. These are really great. You can see they're like hand size, so books that are hand size tend to be easier for little ones to hold, so it's great for them to practice page turning. You can see these are the thick, sturdy pages. They actually have like the holes in some of them, so it helps them to pull the page along as they practice turning to learn to flip the pages. So it's a really great beginning page turning. And it has just the 1 picture per page, and it helps with word and language as well. So this is a table. This is a bowl. If you have kiddos that are learning to read, this is actually a really great book as well because they can say mug and then they can learn to spell M-U-G. So it's really great for multiple age groups. Actually, I really, really love these books. So highly recommend our very first Words Library books. New peek inside. If you're familiar at all with Us More Books and More, you know that peek inside, see inside, like I just shared, and then the look inside is the middle one. But the peek inside is really, really wonderful for younger kids beginning nonfiction. It has these awesome flaps that they can peek through, and they're kind of fun because, you know, they're not like just up and down flaps. They're different flaps like a bird, or they're flaps that are sideways or they pull out. So really, really great introduction to nonfiction for those kiddos in a fun manner with the peek inside elements, and really just great, big, bright, beautiful pictures for them to look at. And again, more like a handheld size for that younger reader. If you are familiar with our Little Helpers series, we have a Little Helpers Laundry Day book, which is a super fun book talking about doing laundry. It has little felt pieces. So this is the follow-up. It's Little Helpers Grocery Day Sort and Play. So little grocery basket here, you slide shut. It actually has all these felt pieces in it. You flip through and you're going to take the felt pieces and you're going to put them along the story depending on what the story is saying. So it's great for kiddos for fine motor. They get to feel and play. They get to interact. So if you're the reader who doesn't want to sit with you because they're just listening, these are great because they can sit and interact and not just listen. So this says, what's on our list today? 2 red apples, 3 green pears. Let's put them on the scale to weigh. So you would find the apples, and you put them on there, then you'd find the 3 green pears from the other ones and put them on there. So it's a little bit of identification and listening to the language too for those kiddos. So really, really great. Love our Little Helpers series books. If you have kiddos who love to like follow along and solve little mysteries, this is a really fun mystery book that the kiddos are going to follow along. They're going to be part of this sloth detective team, and they're going to go through and try and figure out who done it, essentially. And at one point, you actually, the title helps because it says, watch and learn. Good detectives look at the problem from every angle. I found another clue. So the Upside Down Detective Agency, you're going to work with your kiddos to turn it upside down, find the riddle, and find the answer on this page, and then they figure it out. So it's a really fun, interactive book as they kind of search for clues throughout. If you have kiddos who love animals, we have several new different animal things. We have the Lots of Things to Know About Animals, similar to our 100 Things to Know series, but maybe for a little bit of a younger reader to be included as well as an older reader, but lots of information, not exactly 100 things to know, but lots of things to know. So really, really interesting, lots of facts, lots of nonfiction that they can read through and learn about. And then we have, of course, our magic painting. This one's new with a wild animals magic painting. Really beautiful. You can see how beautiful when you color it that they turn out, and really just really fun for the kiddos to interact and play and have a non-messy fun activity. Another one that I really like that just came out, these two right here. These are essentially like kind of a cross between a graphic novel, so like a story that's fiction, and a nonfiction like information book, because they have a fiction story with characters that they're telling, but then there's a plethora of nonfiction information in here. So what would you bring to the jungle? This talks about their field notes to different things. So these have mammals and amphibians and plants and fungi. So you're going to go through different things. So kind of cool to have a mix of fiction and nonfiction in one with a little story plus information. Again, for those reluctant readers, sometimes the graphic novel style is really excellent for them. So I highly recommend if you have someone who likes the outdoors or space, and younger or older, really great new books we have there. And then, oh my gosh, this could be a long video, but I'm going to kind of breeze through these. We have this quiz book, it's New Forest. There's also Farm, Meadow, and Ocean. These are really fun. I did it with my kids yesterday, and really great. So it says, who climbs and lives in trees? So it talks about 4 different animals. So you're learning identification of animals. And then you would say, go through the reasons why. And then it actually gives you the answer up here in the corner. So of course, for this one, who lives in the tree, it is the squirrel. So a little squirrel there. So these are really fun for the younger reader to kind of do like a first quiz, a first learning lesson there. If you have kiddos or you yourself love Greek mythology, I love Greek mythology. I think it's really fascinating. It's really fun. This is a little children Greek mythology book. So kind of talks about those stories that we all probably know and are intrigued by for little kids. So more broken down for the kiddos to understand, and in shorter words with lots of big, beautiful, bright pictures, as most of our books have. So really, really cool new Greek mythology book. If you are someone who has moved, either military or for a job, or just happening to move because you wanted to move, but your kiddos don't understand or need some explanation, this is brand new. We're moving house. They're about to figure out what happens when you move. It's full of gentle humor, it says, and a simple story to express and understand for kiddos when they're moving. So I definitely could have used that when we were in the military. Moved a lot, but it's a really great book. If you have some kids who enjoy learning, or you yourself enjoy learning, and you are familiar with our School of Monsters series, School of Monsters came out with 4 new books, and they are all hilarious, funny, great beginning reader books. Highly, highly recommend these. If you don't have them and you want to know about them, please let me know. They are wonderful books where the kiddo reads just the last colored word on the page, and the caregiver, friend, family member, etc. will read the rest of the text. Really, really fun, wonderful books. I highly recommend them. There's a whole series now. You can buy them in this series or individually, but I love them. And then as you saw, they come with these new little School of Monsters Learn and Play books. So there's one on words, there's one on numbers, there's one on letters, and there's one on shapes. So really fun workbooks that are kind of just fun for the kids, and they can bring them along and do some fun stuff. And so the characters, it makes it more fun for them. So just something that's a little bit different and fun. We have so many more books that I can share with you guys. Let me just briefly show life cycles. We have One Little Frog, One Little Tree, really, really great introductions to teaching kids about life cycles. We have this new picture dictionary, really, really cool book. It's literally a dictionary with pictures, which is really cool for kids because they can actually visualize while they are looking at the different words. So I really love this for kind of an introduction to different words for kiddos as they're learning language. It's a really great introduction for that. If you have kiddos who love the solar system, this is brand new. See Inside the Solar System. Really wonderful explanation, deep dive into the solar system. We have, oh my gosh, so many more, but life size. If you're familiar with our life size dinosaurs, our life size regular book, this is life size baby animals. Truly everything in the book that says the word life size is actually life size. This is the life size honey possum right here. And it's very adorable, but very cute. And the kids can actually conceptualize the size. So it's a really great, great book. Those are probably the ones that I could share without making this video be 15 minutes long, but really, really great new books that we have. If you have any questions about any of them, these are from our Confidence Miss Molly's School and the Good Behavior Guide series, both really, really great books. Miss Molly has Confidence, Kindness, and Manners now. Love these books. But if you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to share and dive in with you about some of the new titles that are super silly, super fun, and I highly recommend that you have questions. Let me know. Thanks, guys.